Hello guys and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. Now I'm gonna take you through my whole process of how I draw semi-realistic anime style. We're going to recreate a K-pop demon hunter JINU character, and we will try to see how I draw it, which steps I take, the colors, how I stylize it into a semi-realistic look but still keep the anime style as well. I'm going to walk you through the whole process while explaining what I'm doing. First thing, I always feel that showing how to draw something is way better than just talking or making random steps without showing them. And that's what I want to include here. I want you to see how I actually do things and keep my steps in mind as well. So here I have the reference from K-pop. I choose it because, as simple as it may look, it's actually a bit complicated. It has a lot of lights on his face and it's stylized in a certain way. By the way, I'm not trying to copy his artwork exactly as it is. I will stylize it more to how I see it, but at the same time I will keep it recognizable as the same character. First, I started with a small detailed brush to do the line art or the sketch. As you can see, I make it very loose. I'm just putting some lines here and there to know where things should be. I'm not paying too much attention to the details right now. I like keeping it loose because the sketch itself won't even be included in the final product. The only purpose of the line art here is to guide me on where everything should be. After I was happy with that, I used the liquify tool to change some of the features, then I used the soft brush to paint in the background first. I like to draw from far to close so that I don't have to erase elements later, so I can set up the environment and the lighting early on. I find it easier to draw the big shapes first and then start adding details. So I started with a very dark color for the background and using a round brush, adding details like trees, leaves, or roses. I'm keeping it loose because in the end of the day we're going to blur it, so it doesn't need to be detailed at this stage. That's the smart thing, knowing where to put a lot of details in things that will actually be visible in the final product, and ignoring things that won't matter that much. I selected the character, filled it with a solid color, and then tested different colors for the character to see if they harmonize together. I try to keep the colors as the same value. I don't make the background very dark and then put bright lights on the skin. No, I keep them in the same value range so they can blend together and feel like they are in the same environment. Then I started adding more color variation to the skin tone. In the reference, there is a lot of lighting on the face. You can see a bluish tone in his left cheek and more shadows on that side compared to the other. In their rendering style, they keep a lot of sharp edges. They don't try to blend everything softly. These hard edges make things pop more, and that's what I'm trying to keep here as well. I added shadows where I saw them, blending some but keeping others sharp. At this point, I'm just trying to get the colors right, not placing them perfectly yet. I put the colors where they roughly belong, blend some, and see if I'm getting the vibe I want before getting into details. From there, I started adding details, like eye, pupils, nostrils, more color to the lips, checking what's missing and making things more defined. If some places needed more light or shadow, I adjusted them. I don't stick to working in one spot. I move around the whole portrait to make sure everything comes together. For the hair, I didn't go into too much detail at first. I used a round brush to block in the shapes I saw in the reference, adding some color variation. I keep zooming out to check if it reads well from a distance. Once I'm happy with the base shapes and colors, I can go in and add more details. As I work, I use the liquify tool to make adjustments. With this reference, I use liquify quite often, because while I try to keep some features similar to the reference, I also stylize them on my own way. For example, I might shorten in the nose, make the mouth smaller, or move the eyebrows until I'm happy with the result. At the end, I refine the features, add more highlights, and sharpen details that might have been blurred by liquify. If you don't know, liquify can reduce the quality in some areas, so you have to go back and fix that. And that's it for today. As you can see, I tried to keep the same main features while still making it my own version. That's how I see it. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful. If you want to see the finished piece, it's on my Instagram. And let me know if you would like a detailed video about making this style, my brushes, canvas settings, etc. And I will see you in the next one.